I toured over 20 New York apartments so that I could find my next home. As you can see, I'm sitting on the floor because I'm still waiting for my furniture to arrive. But I successfully found an apartment that I love. I wanted to be very sure that I could commit to this apartment for the year, so I was very thorough with my search. I was very surprised by the cost, size, and the quality of the apartments that I saw, as compared to seeing them online. I'll show you the tips of how to find a good apartment and the tours itself. I wanted to move to New York for a long time. Since I'm lucky to be fully remote and my job is based in New York, I decided that this is the right time to move to New York. As you can see, I found an apartment that I like and I want to share what I learned. Tip number 1, if you want to search for apartments when there's less people, try going in the winter months. I started my search in January because people are less likely to search in the winter months. You'll have less people competing for the apartments you're interested in. I've heard in the summer months, the apartments go by really quick. You need to have PDFs of your W-2 forms, your last 2 pay stubs, as well as photocopies of your driver's license. The caveat of searching in the winter months is that there are less apartments on the market. This may be a good thing if you have decision paralysis and you want to choose between a few only. Personally, I find it better than searching in the summer months where you decide on an apartment, but it's already taken by someone else. I found my apartment and signed the lease within 5 days. Depending on what you're looking for, it might be worth it to brace the cold and search in the winter months. Second tip is to really determine what you want from the apartment. It's helpful to have a priorities list of what you're looking for, but you may have to change this as you go. What I learned was that in every apartment, there are trade-offs. There really is no perfect apartment, unless you have a really high budget. But let's face it, it's New York. Here is the checklist of what I prioritized. I wanted 1 bed, 1 bath, a view with functional windows. What I mean by functional windows is that the windows aren't facing other buildings. This is very common in New York, and you basically don't really have any view except for someone else's building. I was also hoping for laundry in unit or laundry in the building. This is a luxury. Next, I considered price and aimed for around $4K, and I also wanted space. You may have heard in New York that the apartments are the size of shoeboxes. Next, I prioritized location. I wanted to be in a convenient place where I could easily subway everywhere, and I wanted to feel safe. I was hoping that the building would be modern with new finishes and have a doorman and an elevator. I preferred not to have a walk-up. I also preferred southwest-facing windows so that my apartment would receive more light, especially in the afternoon. Finally, I didn't want to pay the broker's fee. This is usually 15% of the annual rent, and you pay this to a leasing agent. I'll share what my apartment actually had on this list at the end. You have to be willing to give and take on your list. Set a max budget that you're willing to pay, and you may have to adjust this when you look at apartments. This brings me to my next point. You have to look at the apartments in person. You probably heard of catfishing. Well, this is the same thing, but for apartments. I primarily used StreetEasy to look for apartments. While this website is convenient, the photos can be very deceiving. Take this apartment, for example. The photos look totally different from the apartment that I saw. Nice photos, but this is actually what I saw. You need to see the apartment in real life because it can actually be much smaller. You may not like the surrounding area, and you can test out the noise level. My next tip is to use Wanderlog to organize your apartment tours. You will be emailing leasing agents left and right, and they will have specific times that you can view the apartment, especially if it's currently occupied. Most likely, you won't be able to group your apartment tours by location, unless you're looking at 1 to 2 locations. Wanderlog allows you to conveniently put your apartment tour times, and it will easily map out where you should go on Google Maps. It's really convenient because you might cancel some tours and shift things around. Tip 5 is to take videos on the tour. If you're searching with someone else, have them take notes on their phone. All the apartments start to blur together, but that's why the videos come in handy. Look at the details such as if there are overhead lights, because a lot of Manhattan apartments don't have that. Also ask about the details. Is water and gas included? Can they show you the amenities and the gym? You can also ask if there's any future construction going on, especially if you're a light sleeper. But anywhere in New York will have some noise. Now to the apartment tours. So these apartment tours will not cover Upper East Side, Upper West Side, Fidei, and Midtown East. So let's start with Hell's Kitchen. This area has a lot of food and it's a little higher in Manhattan, but when I toured it, the streets were not that busy.
Lazy Sunday mornings hiding 'cause I don't mind staying in with you. Play your favorite movie, laying right beside me. I don't mind when it's just us two. That corner coffee shop we like to go. Late night walks with you to take me home. With you I never feel alone.
These little songs make me glad to call you mine. And you have got my head in the clouds.
1, 2, 3.
All that I need is your body next to me on rainy days. Just need your company, don't need too much. Just your simple love and it's everything. The simple joy of hearing your voice.
Visited 3 apartments so far. I thought they were all okay, so the hunt continues.
I don't need too much, just your simple love and it's everything.
Hudson Yards is where the iconic vessel is, and there's also a mall there. There's also the Lincoln Tunnel that connects New Jersey, so you might hear some noise there. We're in a self-guided tour of Hudson Crossing. Here is the view of the living room. This is the lounge of Townsend. There's also Midtown, which is in the heart of Manhattan. Everywhere you go, there's a lot of people, especially because it covers Times Square.
You can hang out, we do events up here, and you can also rent it out for a private event.
Chelsea is more urban and hip and has a lot of good food, such as at Chelsea Market. Going into the search, I was pretty sure that I wanted to live in Chelsea. This is the kitchen. See the lights? It's pretty standard. If you look this side, it's a nice view. That's cool. I like the view of the High Line. This is the bedroom. Here's the restroom. Okay. This is the washer dryer. Okay. And the closet. Kips Bay seems to me like it attracts a little bit of an older population, and it is a little cold and windier there because it's near the water. The closet there and the restroom. It's a little bit small here. And more closet space. Oh, there's no light. I also checked out East Village. This area attracts a younger crowd and has been described as grungy with a lot of walk-ups. Apartment hunting was tiring, but I found the one, so this is what I had on my checklist and how it matched up. The apartment searching itself can really change how you view apartments. I am happy with my choice, but a little hurt by the price tag. However, I've been waiting to live in New York for a while, so I'm excited to make the most of it. Remember that when you're looking for apartments, it's good to consider all the trade-offs and pounce on the apartment that you want. Good luck!